Guys and gals, it's me, George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man. And while I thought I was going to finish up my wiring for my brake lights, we have a more serious problem that we're dealing with, and that's the brakes themselves. And one of the things I have discovered is that because I have my brake pedal set up to push, when it gets a lot of pressure on it, actually what it is doing is bending the rod down here. So the rod is whooping up and it's losing its pressure. It's not getting enough pressure. So either I've got to reconstrue it so that when I push, it is pulling, which I can do that, or I need to start over from scratch and go with a totally different setup. And I'm thinking about that possibility. And while we're thinking about that possibility, we got all of these disc brakes down here. And got a bunch of discs off of bicycles. And I have a couple of different disc brake calipers with the cables to run them from there. And I only have one hub, however, that I could use to mount this. And I would have to make an adapter somehow to be able to make it work on my axle. And that wouldn't be all that hard to do. I mean, I could make a sleeve to go in this end and another sleeve to go in that end. But probably the most effective way to do this would be for me to make a whole new bracket, because I'm thinking if I do disc brakes, that maybe I need to run a double disc, you know? I'm not sure that one disc by itself is going to do the job. These are only made, after all, for stopping a bicycle plus its rider, which at the most, you know, even if you had a fat guy on there, it'd be 250 pounds. And I don't know, what do you think? You think the goofy cart weighs more than 250 pounds? Come on there. Focus. Come on, camera. There we go. I'm quite sure that it does weigh more than 250 pounds. And oh, how cool is that? Moon. That's old school right there. Thanks, Cutworm. So yeah, and not only that, I have to come up with a different solution for my chain tensioner down here, and what I'm thinking of doing is making a solid tensioner that has an adjustment on it so the chain can't slop back and forth when tension comes off of it. The spring just wasn't quite enough for what we had, and I come up with several different possibilities, and I had a spring with a rod through it and trying to make that adjustable, but that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna happen. So we're gonna start over from scratch on that. I may be able to use my original tensioner wrench and pulley, but we'll see about that too. I'm thinking I need to get my pivot point up higher, and also to get my pivot point more in the middle, don't you know? Because the way I had it, it was almost back here to the rear sprocket. So I think I need to get it more in the middle, and I may have to shorten this up. I may have to do it all over completely. But you know, I never was trained as an engineer, and while a lot of these things look good and they seem to work when it's sitting static on the lift, once you get going on the road, it's totally different because your stresses and strains are coming in different directions and from different places. So I thought you'd be interested in seeing, you know, what I got going on. And I don't have a whole lot of time to spend out here because, as I told you guys, we're hoping to move. And I want to get my house ready to put it on the market come spring. So I'm doing a lot of work in the house. So my time out here will be few and far between. But I still need to get this done and get it ready to go so that if I decide to take it with me, I can. And it will at least be rolling and with brakes and going. So it'll be easier to take it on and off of whatever I move it with. Or if we decide not to take it with us, it may be going to my grandson. And I definitely want it working properly before I give it to him. So until next time, this is George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man. And I hope you're staying warm where you are. I ran out of my propane, so I've been using my electric heater just to take the chill off while I'm working right here. So I'm often standing in front of it to get warmed up again. But, yeah, it's only, I don't know, like 25 degrees outside right now. And without the heat going, let me see what it says here. This says outside is 29.5 and inside is 38.5. So that's not bad actually, but my old legs are getting tired. The hardest part in the winter time here, yeah, and that up there agrees, it looks like it's up close to 40. The hardest part in the winter time is the cold comes up through the floor, don't you know? And my old legs just have a hard time dealing with it, especially my knees and my thighs. So, yeah. And you can congratulate me. I didn't announce it when it happened, but you can congratulate me now. I turned 70 a little over a week ago. And so I'm officially an old guy now. Before I was just pushing being old, but now I'm really old. So, until next time, I think I said this once before, thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing. And hopefully next time I'll have some actual progress done and not just tearing apart things, you know what I mean? Bye for now.